I kind of want to talk about what happened in Kansas City this past weekend with the murder-suicide of Jovan Belcher, who was the starting linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. I was at a production meeting for our movie when my phone on Saturday morning started blowing up. My brother started texting me, and the text read, a Chiefs player commits suicide. And the first thing I thought of was, it's got to be somebody from the practice team. Nobody who played any significant minutes, probably not, did commit suicide. And I don't know why I thought that, and it's still terrible to think that. But also one of the things that as I learned more about the story, my dad called me up, was I was thinking about what would possess somebody mentally to do this. And at that point, I didn't know that he killed his girlfriend first, and then drove to the Arrowhead Stadium, or not the Arrowhead Stadium, but the practice facilities they had for the Chiefs, and killed himself in front of several different coaches, including general manager Scott Pioli and head coach Romeo Crennel. He did that. Jovan Belcher did that, and he cost his daughter, 3-month-old daughter, the ability to grow up without her parents. Now, she's going to get a nice chunk of money from the NFL, and the Chiefs are going to start a fund for her. But, yeah, what would possess a man to do that? I don't think there's anybody in their right mind that would make a decision like that, thinking that would be the best option. Because I think he shot his girlfriend 9 times. And my heart goes out to the family of the Perkins family. I think that's that last name. The girlfriend's family and the Belchers, because I can't imagine what they're going through right now, and I can only just pray that they'll be able to get through this and that little girl grows up to have a happy, healthy life. My respect level for the Chiefs, especially Scott Pioli and Romeo Crennel, just shot through the roof. I didn't have hardly any respect for how they did business before Saturday. And their behavior on and off the field didn't warrant them doing any kind of business, because they're 1-10, they were the worst team in the league. They had this happen in front of them on Saturday. To have this happen, to have somebody kill themselves, a player they loved, kill themselves in front of them, it's got to be something that they'll never, ever forget. And I don't know that they'll ever get that image out of their head. And the decision to play Sunday, the next day after the murder-suicide, was their decision, I believe. Was the Chiefs' decision. It was the NFL, I believe, left that up to the Chiefs. And once the Chiefs made that decision to play, I thought that a lot of media outlets and a lot of sports reporters and from all across the country had their own opinions about it. And none of their opinions really matter. None of their opinions, like, they shouldn't even have given their opinion on it, because it's not, they should have supported the Chiefs in that decision, because it was the Chiefs' way to move forward. And I believe the whole organization as a whole was for playing the game, otherwise they wouldn't have played the game. And I think that I heard a lot of people say they should not have played the game, they should have done this, they should have done that. And I fail to see any organization that would have handled this situation as good as the Chiefs did, considering the circumstances. And there's no right or wrong here. That's the thing, especially with the Chiefs. There's no right or wrong. There's only the least terrible thing. Although probably in one case they were right, and that was when they decided to have a moment of silence, and how they decided to honor that at the Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday for the game. They had a moment of silence for people who were victims of domestic violence, and I thought that was the best way to deal with that situation, because if they would have had a moment of silence for Jovan Belcher, a murderer, who left an orphan daughter would have been the wrong decision, and it would have been universally criticized. And there's so many things about this, tragedy that we'll just never understand. We're going to try to, and I think everything happens for a reason. And I think the reason the Chiefs were so bad at quarterback this year, that they had to put Brady Quinn as their starting quarterback, was for this situation, because Brady Quinn shined. And he was the leader. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been able to do this. He wouldn't have been. Aaron Rodgers would not have been able to step up at that podium and deliver that speech the way that Brady Quinn did. And through his own words, Aaron Rodgers, he wouldn't have done it. And he probably wouldn't even have played as well on Sunday as Brady Quinn did, considering the circumstances. So Brady Quinn gave probably the most eloquent speech about this that has been said of this tragedy. Said or written about this tragedy. He put it into words, and he hit the right note. After he hit the right note, he was talking about how we kind of deal with social media, and we're more invested in social media, and we're getting less and less invested in the person's lives who are right physically in front of us, and having these surface level conversations about how was your day? Oh, it was good. Well, do you really mean it? And do you really mean that with your response? It was good. I loved everything he said. I thought he hit the right note, and I thought that was the reason why he was the Chiefs quarterback. That was the reason why the Chiefs are a bad, we're had to put him at quarterback, and we're bad at that position, was so somebody like Brady Quinn could step up and shine during that time, because I don't think anybody else in the NFL could have done what Brady Quinn did on Sunday. So my condolences go out to all the families involved. The Chiefs forever earned my respect for how they handled it and how they handled the situation. They can lose the rest of the games this year, and I will still be proud to be a Chiefs fan because of the way that they handled the situation. And so, God bless everybody involved. That being said, the movie, The Campaigners, is coming along. We are in the editing process. I saw a lot of the editing footage, and you guys are going to like it. I laughed. I don't laugh at anything I do, or anything in general out loud, but I laughed at this movie. And so I think you guys really like it. And like us on Facebook. We're The Campaigners.